Hi guys, welcome back
to
another Juicy Rex. Why can we never do an intro properly?
Go ahead.
After me. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. Today we are reacting to...
You don't even know, do you? You don't even know.
I did, but I wanted to read the proper title out.
Top 5 most common Filipino fruits that this guy likes to eat.
I knew it was about fruit, but I didn't know the name of the title.
Yeah, there's some Filipino fruits we've tried. There's some we have not tried. Whether that's because we're not brave enough, like durian, because like that's controversial.
I want to try it, I do.
But let's see if there's anything else in this video that we should try. If you enjoyed this video today, guys, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, because 80% of people who watch this channel, thank you, do not subscribe. So you guys could really help us out by just clicking the subscribe button.
And also subscribe to the Juicy Vlog for daily vlog style videos over on that channel. We'll also link it below. And if you have any more reaction requests that you'd like us to react to, send us a link over on our Instagrams. We'll also leave that link below. But without further ado, let's get straight into this video.
3, 2, 1.
There's a joke here in the Philippines, as there's with many foods, that out of all the fruits in the world, saging lang ang may puso, saging lang ang may puso, saging lang ang may puso. Hi, magandang araw mga kabano. It's Chris here, and today I'm talking to you about Filipino fruits.
Hilarious.
This is just some of the best, most sweet, most delicious tasting.
I love how he just uses a green screen for whatever he's talking about.
The Philippines got
We've reacted to some of this guy's videos before.
Every fruit has a festival. So, for example, in Guimaras each year we have the Mangahan Festival. In Camiguin Island, which is a beautiful island in Mindanao, we have the annual Lanzones Festival. And in Benguet we have the Strawberry Festival.
Have not done that yet.
In the cooler areas can grow these delicious small strawberries that are very, very, very sweet and very, very tasty. So every fruit seems to have a festival here in the Philippines. In fact, I think everything has a festival in the Philippines. Everything. So today, with that in mind, we are going to talk all about my 5 favorite Filipino fruits that I eat the most of. So let's get straight into it. Now, the first one is the humble calamansi. I say humble because here in the Philippines it is everywhere, but I've heard in the US now calamansi cocktails are becoming really, really popular, and I sort of laugh when I look at that, because I'm like, yeah, I've been just putting calamansi in my gin and tonic here in Manila for ages because I can't get lemon or lime. So it's really interesting about scarcity, or it becomes uso sa ibang bansa, but dito sa Pilipinas na talagang na common yung calamansi. So calamansi looks like a tiny green lime, and the flesh is slightly orange in color, but it's sort of somewhere between like a lime and an orange, and grows on these small shrubby bushes. I have 2 calamansi plants on my rooftop here in Manila growing in pots, so when they come bearing fruit, I go up and pick them and make my fresh calamansi juice. There's also, it's commonly interchangeable with what we call the dayap here in the Philippines, which is a slightly larger but also sour citrus fruit grown here in the Philippines. So 2 options, but calamansi is far more ubiquitous across the Philippines, and it's just got so many uses in cooking. So obviously as a souring agent, you know, you can make sinigang, and if I ever make a fish-based sinigang, I really love it to be with calamansi as my souring agent. But it's also very widely used in sauces.
Always wearing an apron, isn't he?
You know, the
just in case.
Always looks like a chef.
Ready to jump up and cook.
And of course you can make it into just straight up calamansi juice, or you can use it in a lot of different drinks. I usually put it as well if I'm making fruit shakes, like a mango shake, or my patented banana papaya calamansi shake, my PBK shake, which is the best way to start your day in the Philippines. And the calamansi juice just adds this little sour zing. If you're ever eating papaya, you just have to squeeze calamansi over it, and that's just delicious. I don't know exactly what is going on there with your taste buds, but it is the best with papaya. Now, second on my list, of course, is the banana.
You think you are
the banana plant itself has
been when you were like,
there's
2 types of banana in the world.
8,000 BC, so everywhere in tropical Southeast Asia, and they grow
very
banana easily. And I love this. It's the #1 fruit for us in Australia that kids eat, and I think it's really for any culture that likes bananas. It's one of the first things people eat because it can be mashed up. It's a perfect first solid food for babies. I certainly was a banana kid. I know I ate like truckloads of bananas between the age of sort of 6 months and 3 years old. I still eat a lot of bananas today, probably not as many as when I was 2 years old. Now, what I love in the Philippines about the banana is, in Australia, it's like this one type of banana, you know, the long, yellow, Cavendish, like TV bananas. They look like the iconic banana that you would see in a movie. And, you know, they're pretty good. They're pretty delicious and everything. But in the Philippines, you have like so many more types of banana. Lacatans, which is, you know, what I've got in my fruit bowl here, and probably the one I eat more of than anything while I'm in the Philippines. Then you have your Saba bananas, which are the fat and and thicker skin ones, which are often used in cooking, but can also be made into things like banana Q and turon, which, you know, is sort of like banana Q.
Oh, can you make that again?
You also have latundan, which is sort of a thinner skin, a bit sweeter than malacatan,
yes,
and you have
sorry, I shouldn't
the which are like the small baby ones.
Like
I
normal
like them.
bananas. I don't think I'm meant to.
In porridge.
Oh,
it tastes good. Well, we microwave it so they cook a little bit.
Share them because it's just so many. They're bite size. They're like a fun sized banana. So in addition to eating the fruit, the heart of banana, puso ng saging, is also commonly used in Filipino cooking. And of course, the banana leaves are used for preparing things like kakanin, where they can be a base or almost a placemat for putting your rice treats on. And the banana leaves can be used as improvised placemats for Filipino food, including the budol fight, where you use a full-length banana leaf and just put everything on there. Now, bananas have a lot of uses outside of the health benefits and the delicious flavors. So one of those is kung halimbawa matinik ka. So tinik, the root word there is for fish bone. So if you are matinik, you have swallowed a fish bone and it's jammed in your throat and you're choking to death, or maybe it's slightly less dramatic. It may just be very painful. And what you do in that case is you basically smash a whole banana whole, maybe just mild chewing only, and force it down your throat, and that's gonna like catch the fish bone and kind of plunge that into your stomach and help dislodge it from your throat. Okay, now of course there's a joke here in the Philippines, as there is with many foods, that out of all the fruits in the world, saging lang ang may puso, saging lang ang may puso, saging lang ang may puso. Next, of course, is the mango.
The best.
I think banana, buko, manga, and piña are probably the most commonly known Filipino fruits. So no surprise that this one's on the list. It's known as the queen of Philippine fruit, and I think Filipino mangoes
in
down
the
the
world.
Best in the world. Australia has
we had Gimaras mangoes here the other day. Somehow they're
there. Philippine mangoes, the price of Philippine mangoes, they're so cheap compared to elsewhere in the world. So I eat a lot more mangoes here. Now mangoes grow on trees that can get to sort of 15 up to 18 meters in height.
Money doesn't grow on trees, guys,
for up to
but mangoes do.
Productive. So one tree can have, you know, dozens and dozens of mangoes on it, which is fantastic. So if you have a mango tree in your backyard, you're a lucky person.
Get a mango tree
now mangoes come in a few varieties.
I've got too many plants. Now you're interested.
I prefer a mango tree than a calamansi.
This is the sort of classic type of mango you'll find here in the Philippines. Super sarap, delicious, sweet, and that bright yellow-orange flesh that you would associate with mango. You also have your Indian mango, which is going to be, it's a smaller, kind of denser, less sweet, and a bit more fibrous mango. And I sort of like those. They're still very delicious, but not that as sweet as the classic type. So mangoes, typically Filipinos will consume them in two main ways. One is kind of as a sweet fruit, which is kind of your typical ripe mango, you know, manggang hinog, and that can be eaten just straight as a fruit after a meal, or it could be in addition to certain desserts like mango float, which is the ultimate 20th century Filipino-American cooking combination. And now the other way Filipinos eat mangoes, of course, is when they're still raw. So you can use green mango as a souring agent when it comes to cooking sinigang, for example. While it's still green, you can boil that up in the broth and eat it as part of the soup. And also you can just sort of peel those green mangoes, and they're quite sour at that level, right? The sugars haven't yet formed in the fruit, and you can just dip that in bagoong and have this sort of salty sour hit, which is a popular snack in the Philippines. And of course you can make your mango shakes. So I love making green and yellow mango shakes, but the ripe one is sweeter, very easy to make. You put milk in it, but I would really recommend trying out a green mango shake if you come to the Philippines.
I like the green mango.
It's really satisfying,
refreshing
combination, and super refreshing compared to the traditional sort of yellow mango shake. The next one on my list today is langka, or jackfruit.
They look so cool growing,
now,
don't
if
they?
you've ever seen those giant, sort of bulbous, spiky, kind of looks like a medieval torture device, that is what we're talking about, langka. And this is fruit which you crack it open, and then inside there are these pods and bits of fruit, and you get them and you sort of got to pull the fruit out and separate it from this giant kind of honeycombed, sharp-looking fruit. That makes sense.
Does look weird, doesn't it?
Do that is they'll cross-cut a big langka, and then you can kind of get at the fruit within, and
they're
sort
huge
of
as well.
Peel away the strands of edible fruit by hand. The langka tree's life will typically range between 100 and 200 years, so this one can last for an extremely long time.
Some of his face is disappearing with the green screen.
Fruits per year of these.
I just got locked onto his right cheek.
So you only need a couple of these in a field, and you'll have more langka than your family can eat, than your barangay can eat, than your whole
Now his
village
ear's gone. on.
So it's really
Yeah.
Okay, back to listening to what he's saying.
So typically you can either buy lanka by big chunk and
unsee
you've got
that.
to process it yourself.
Yeah, you can't unsee
more
it.
commonly now in the market.
Yeah, you can't unsee it.
Ingaters will all have pre-processed the lanka, so you're just getting the fruit, and you pay obviously more because it's just the fruit by the kilo now as opposed to all of the waste. So the flavor, it's sort of this deep yellow flesh when you actually get to the fruit, and it's sort of sweet, maybe just a little sourness to it, and the smell is very strong. It's almost this like almost a pungent aroma to the jackfruit, or perfumed almost, like a deep perfumed smell to it. And it's really nice as a result to use as a flavoring in desserts and things like halo halo. You'll definitely know it's in there if you know what I mean. It's very distinct yung flavor ng jackfruit. It can also go into turon, especially when it's mixed with bananas, some ice cream, some ube, and that will be just a super delicious dessert. And like a lot of Filipino fruits, it can also be prepared as an ulam. So you make ginataang langka, where you actually prepare it in a more savory style and you're actually using your jackfruit more as a vegetable. Now the last fruit
Sometimes
I'm going to talk about today,
jackfruit
of course,
as a
is
meat
piña.
substitute.
Yeah, true.
Pineapple is quite slow growing, and typically you can
I can't believe that's how
like
pineapples
40
grow. It's so
pounds
weird. It
of
looks so
pineapple
fake.
In its own like
on the ground,
nest.
and they'll
Yeah.
sort of
It looks like
retake
someone's
the-
put
I don't know,
pineapple
in a bush.
pineapple, so it kind of looks like
I'd love to
this
watch a time lapse
shrub
of a
with
pineapple
spiky
growing.
pineapple top, and then in
I
the
feel like that'd
middle
be
will
super
the
satisfying.
fruit, which also has its own spiky top, and you can cut that off and plant it again. So that's sort of how the
Really?
life cycle of pineapple occurs. So piña is
Well,
grown
then another
very
one
widely
grows.
across the Philippines, the
Wow,
areas around
nature.
Tagaytay,
You
Cavite
scary.
province, Bicol, northern Mindanao,
Yeah, do you remember the mini
Calabarzon.
Bicol
They all
ones?
are growing a lot of pineapple, and it's something that's a lot is exported from the Philippines to other parts of Asia in particular. Pineapple is one of the fruits I also think the Philippines does better than just about anywhere else on the face of the earth. The Philippine pineapple it's sweet,
don't
it's
think we have
succulent, it's
pineapple often
delicious.
enough.
We don't.
as
We
an
have
Aussie,
bought it
I
a few
obviously love our
times.
Australian fruits, but I really find out pineapples are like
Then on a
big
road
and
trip we
bit
picked some
more
up once. It was already
acidic and
chopped up for
maybe
us.
not
Intengas.
quite as sweet as the Philippine one, and you come here, the pineapples are smaller, a bit more tender, a bit more fruity and sweet, and they're just perfect. It's an oblong fruit, and when you eat it, you normally would take the top off, and then as you cut the skin off, it kind of has these eyes all around the fruit. So the best way I've seen to prepare it if you're on the street is you kind of just trim the leaves, so you have like a hawakan at the bottom, and then you can cut very thin edges off the pineapple, and then you can kind of
Get rid of the
cut
dots.
this
That's
diagonal
why they
pattern
do that, to
remove
make
the
it look like
eyes
this.
around
That's
the
so cool.
pineapple, and that for
Interesting.
me is the best way to eat it on the street, because you minimize the fruit you lose. If you're really picky though, you can just basically slice thicker around the skin, and then you'll just cut the eyes off, but you lose maybe like a third of the total fruit if you cut it that way. My only problem with piña is I actually get allergic to this. It gives me some mouth ulcers whenever I eat it, so I sometimes just decide like, okay, I'm in Tagaytay, it's pineapple time, I'm just going to eat as much pineapple as I want and put up with the consequences later, because it's so delicious. All right, so that's everything you need to know about Filipino fruits. We've talked about some of the major ones today. Now, of course, I'd love to hear your guys' comments below if you've got any.
Awesome. That's cool.
Really cool.
I think we
enjoyed
should
that.
definitely try some more Philippine pineapples, because we love
Yeah.
the mangoes, but he's right, they are sweeter here as well. Very cool.
nice.
If there's anything else that you guys think should have been on that list, do let us know. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it today. Leave us a comment. What else?
That's it, really.
That's it really. Do have a great day. We hope you
a
have a great
lovely
day,
day,
wherever
yeah.
you are. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. That'd be interesting. All right guys, we'll see you in the next Juicy Reacts.
Bye.